Historically, folks, when we're out in the field and we need to shoot quickly, here at the Backcountry Hunting Podcast, we prefer to use a Spartan Precision equipment Javelin Bipod. In the backcountry, we like to use lightweight gear that's quick and simple. And in all the years I've been hunting, I've never found anything to surpass the Spartan Precision equipment Javelin Bipod. You can pop it out of your cargo pocket, which is where I typically carry mine, onto your rifle in a matter of a half second, go prone, over a big rock, whatever you need to do. It's very quick and very efficient, and it's very light. Those weigh, what, less than half a pound?
Yeah, like a phone.
Yeah. So there are some updates to this system now. Folks, I'm standing here with my good friend Rob Gearing, the founder and the genius and the crazy man behind
Delighted
the
to be here.
Yeah.
And where are we though, Joseph?
Well, we're at the Day Mountain Ranch in southeastern Idaho. It's a fantastic shooting facility.
Check it out, guys, because it is really... Joseph's been on about this for a long time. It's an impressive place.
So, it's become my favorite place to shoot.
I can understand that. I can understand that. So in answer to your question, yes, the Javelin is a hunting tool. It's an out-and-out hunting tool. It's not necessarily a range bipod. There's probably better products out there if you're going to go and sit on the range. But for killing things, it's absolutely where it needs to be.
Yeah, and it's proven itself in my hunting experience from Africa, all over Europe, and all the way to Alaska. It's terrific. They're not an inexpensive bipod, but they're not super expensive either. The key thing is here, folks, there are some updates that we want to tell you about here. And for those of you watching the video, we want to show you. This will be on patreon.com/backcountry, and in the future we'll be publishing these as back episodes on our YouTube channel when we get that up and rolling. So let's handle and look at some of these new products here.
Well, I'm going to describe this for the people listening rather than on the camera. So bear with me if you can see this on the camera. What I've got in my hand here is a tiny little tripod unit called the Hoplite. Now, we developed something like this for the military guys, bigger, for a 50 cal 338, and I was so happy with it, and so were they, I thought, hang on a minute, I need one of those for hunting.
Yeah.
So what we've done is we've made a really tiny little unit that you can run on 2 legs, 3 legs. You can run it as a cradle, even on 4 and 5 if you wanted to, but it gives you so many more options than the conventional bipod, because you've got that ball in there, so you've got all of that movement. And what we've done, because we designed this tripod from the roots up, it's not a photo product, it's a shooting product. So I said, well, I'm going to keep all of the control module in the body of the tripod, meaning I can get really low on this, meaning the tripod support system is very close to the rifle.
And for those of you that can't see what we're fiddling with right here, we're like a bunch of raccoons in a cherry tree right now. We're having fun with this, but we've laid these 3 legs out on this tiny bipod to where if I set this rifle down right here in the ice, that barrel's not more than about 6 or 7 inches above the ground, right? So it provides a very low center of balance. Yeah. Very easy to get stable on it. Another cool thing about this is you can simply spin one leg off. We've got those twisted on there pretty hard. We'll do this theoretically. And run it as a bipod, and it works quite well. You can extend the legs. You got several different positions you can run them on. If you're on a steep mountain slope, you can put 1 leg out straight and 2 down, and you can shoot along the angle of the slope. You can shoot down, up very effectively with this. And as you can see, it pops on and off your rifle just as quickly and easily as the traditional Javelin Bipod does, using the same adapter and socket set. Speaking of which, there's a new one coming out soon that attaches to your swivel stud without removing the swivel
This is
stud.
called a guide adapter. So for the PHs running the system out here, if people are turning up with expensive rifles and they don't necessarily want to remove the sling swivel stud, they no longer need to. So it's a really cool little tool. I wish I'd invented it. I didn't, but there's a very clever guy that came up with it, and so we buy them from him, and that's called the guide adapter. So if you're a guide out there, I'd encourage you to check those out. Let's just talk about that Hoplite a little bit more.
Sure.
Because there's a few little tricks in the box with this. The module, and I'm describing this again, that's in the can be removed. So then it also comes with a flat plate and a 5/16 3/8 screw. So if you want to run a heavy head on there, there's nobody stopping you doing that. So if you want to take something with a bit more control or a bit more finesse, you can do it. The legs also unscrew, and then we can run the trekking pole legs, so we can make it a big tripod as well. I was up in the Arctic with this in January last year, and we were running the Hercules legs in this little body.
Very
so
cool.
it's very modular. So it really adapts to a host of little options. I hang it here next to my Bino caddy.
Oh, sure.
And it lives there, and it's just there when I need it.
And it's, you know, it's tiny. It's got to be, what, about a foot in length. You can run that in your pack. I mean, it'll just vanish in your pack like a tiny spotting scope.
Yeah. You're not going to be concerned about taking that little unit. And we were hunting in New Zealand just before Christmas, which I believe you might be going there soon. And we took these, and they were very, very effective on the tar. We had other products for other things, but as a mountain tool, it's absolutely where it needs to be.
Well, I look forward to working this out as hard as I have the Javelins. Now, there's a new product, too, that's kind of in between them, or a couple of new bipods.
There's certainly a couple of new bipods. So historically, we've been known as mountain hunting tools.
Yeah.
There's a few more horses in the stable now, Joseph. So basically, what I've got here is the Cratos. And this Cratos bipod is designed for 338 50 cal, but you'll see in this configuration, we put the Javelin Bipod legs on.
Yeah.
So that's turned it into a very nice little bipod that sticks on with a spigot. So if you're more of a conventional user and you like your bipod on the rifle, I'm not dictating to you, that's a user's choice, there's an option out there. So this is more akin to an Atlas or a Harris style bipod. It stays on the rifle. It can be removed very quickly just by taking that off and removing it off the spigot. But it's still a lightweight little tool. It doesn't give you the same flexibility and movement that the Javelin does. I mean, I am absolutely a Javelin fan when it comes to mountain hunting, but this is probably a middle-of-the-road product. It's a more substantial, heavier-duty bipod for sure.
Yeah, I think this will be ideal for such things as NRL Hunter, even PRS competition if you're running a light rifle. It gives you multiple leg positions. It's very stable because it sets your center of gravity low between those two hips. This is a wonderfully stable product.
You can really lock it down.
Yeah. For anybody that's, you know, got the long-range shooting / hunting bug, which I'm pretty careful about promoting that sort of thing, but this would be a product that would be an asset in that sort of activity.
And all of these bipods have been designed with a defense connotation as well. So unlike other bipods, what we like to do is store the legs backwards.
All right.
Right, because basically if you're running out, jumping out of helicopters or running into rooms, it seems to me to be entirely logical to have things stored backwards so they don't get all caught up. And from the back, I can literally quick deploy, right?
Just by pushing them down.
Yeah, pushing them down. And then you've got the 45-degree front angle. So that's one of the bipods that's coming out of the Spartan stable, which we're very excited about.
When will it be available?
Probably in the next 3 months. Yeah,
excellent.
Yeah,
so
they're
Q2 of
they're not going to.
2024.
We're looking after some defence contracts first, but we want to get it into the civil market as well. So that's one tool to look at. And then in my pocket here, I have something that I'm really excited about. And imagine a conventional bipod has married a Javelin bipod. Now, I'm not going to offer this as a hunting tool per se because it's only going to come with an M-lock or Picatinny adapter. And for the people just listening to this, I've got a tiny little module in my hand here that's going to live on your AR platform or your chassis. It's a new patent for us. It's called the disc lock.
It's compatible with M-lock or Picatinny. So the M-lock guys, that'll be ideal for anybody running a chassis or an AR.
Yeah, like a Sig Cross or something like that, or a Daniel Defense, or like an MDT or whatever. That tiny little unit lives on the rifle, stays on there. Once I've got that tiny little unit on there, there's a whole host of things I can do with that, just like the Magna Switch system, but more for a defence application. That stays on, it's stowed backwards again. Again, the legs are deployed quickly from the back, again 45 degrees from the front. But the really clever thing about this little bipod, because it's almost like a Javelin in the centre, I've got a huge amount of cant and a huge amount of rotation. So it's a very versatile little tool. It's going to weigh a little bit more than a Javelin bipod. It doesn't pack away the same, but
not
it's another
by
option.
Much, yeah. And you know, there are guys, I'm not one of them, but there are guys that say, well, I want my bipod to be locked onto my rifle because otherwise I lose it. This would be a good option for that. That's yet easy to pull off quickly if you need to slide it into a scabbard or something. And yeah, I think this is going to be a real hit among precision hunters as well. You can run, like that rifle right there has the section of Picatinny rail. A lot of the rifles now, such as the Gunworks rifles, the AG composite stocks, a lot of them come with a built-in section of Picatinny rail in the nose of it. So that version with the adapter for the pick rail is going to be ideal.
Yeah, so there's a whole host of options. Fantastic. I would say if we know what your sickness is, we've probably got the right drug to fix it.
Got the cure right here.
But it's just understanding what the applicants are. I think we're very good at making products. We're not necessarily very good at telling people the best options. So I do encourage people to reach out. Joseph will know these products as well as anybody, but you can always reach out to us. We're very good at getting back and helping make sure we steer people in the right direction.
Yeah, folks, you can just Google Spartan Precision Equipment, or you go to javelinbipod.com. Yep, javelinbipod.com. There's also, they have a fun Instagram page that shows a lot of the coming products in action, so you can kind of get a sneak peek behind the curtain of what your future options are.
Exactly, but this is Lego for the user.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, we are not selling bipods and tripods, we're selling systems. And I really encourage people to check that. You don't need to buy everything. They can. The legs that you're looking at there are the same legs on the Javelin Bipod, so everything is modular.
Yep, and what I love is you can take those legs off just as quick as that and screw your trekking poles on, have a standing height, sitting height, bipod, whatever you need to do. They're very, very versatile tools. Well, Rob, this has been fun. We're going to go shoot some of these. Thanks for joining me here.
Look forward to trying them out.
You betcha.
Yeah.